A new emergency room will be built in Athens. Plus, Facebook announces its new name. And in sports, a big game for Ohio soccer leading into this year's MAC tournament. Newswatch starts right now. Good evening and welcome to Newswatch, your source for news impacting southeastern Ohio. I'm Madison Moore. Marietta-based Memorial Health System is opening a new emergency room in Athens. The organization broke ground at the new site earlier today, with representatives saying they hope to expand healthcare coverage in this historically underserved area. Memorial Health System CEO Scott Cantley spoke at today's event and says running emergency departments are one of the organization's biggest strengths.
For the community, having a choice of emergency providers gives patients that opportunity to decide, how they'd like to be served. We have a unique strength. This is our 5th emergency department, our 2nd freestanding emergency department in the Memorial Health System. It happens to be one of the strongest points of our service lines and offerings.
The new ER is set to be completed by summer of 2022. It will be Memorial Health System's 3rd location in Athens, alongside the already up and running primary care office and specialty care suite. Ohio's Redistricting Commission is set to miss another major deadline. State House Speaker and Commission Chair Bob Cupp said today the commission is holding its final meeting before the initial Sunday deadline for passing a bipartisan congressional map. Legislative leaders blame the missed deadlines on census delays caused by the COVID-19 pandemic. Missing Sunday's deadline will send the map-making process back to the legislature, which has until November 13th to approve a new map. Doctors in Ohio may soon be required to report when babies are born alive after abortions or attempted abortions. The bill passed in Ohio's State Senate yesterday would also make it a crime to fail to preserve the health or life of a baby born alive. If signed into law, it would also require doctors to call 911 and arrange transportation to a hospital in such cases, along with banning abortion clinics from working with doctors who teach at state-funded hospitals and medical schools.
Hi everyone, I am forecaster Ashley Ziegler, and right now, as you can see, we have our 7-day forecast. Okay, yeah, so the graphics are not correct right now, but right now we have a temperature of 63 degrees. We'll have a humidity of 70% and winds blowing from the southeast of 6 miles an hour. We do also are expecting rain all night. As we move into the temperatures for the region, most of the region is seeing temperatures in the 60s. 62 in Columbus, 64 in Newark, 63 in Athens, and 62 in Ironton. And most of the area as well is seeing very cloudy skies, which in our terms is overcast. As we move into our weekend highlights, we will have rain Friday and Saturday, and the rain from those days will be of about 1 to 2 inches. And we will have a dry, chilly night. Back to Madison with news.
A Cleveland man convicted of a murder in 1974 is now acquitted. Isaiah Andrews spent 45 years in prison after being convicted of killing his wife. He was released from prison last year after a judge reversed his conviction. The Ohio Innocence Project took up Andrews' case in 2015, ending with his acquittal yesterday. Coming up, President Biden works to win congressional approval of his climate and economic package. Plus, a major social media company announces it's changing names. These stories and more when Newswatch returns.
On Secrets of the Dead, the true origins of Stonehenge have remained shrouded in mystery.
The secret is in the blue stones.
Now, a dedicated team of archaeologists and scientists have made an incredible discovery.
What we found here is something very exciting.
We're looking for pits of a certain size in a certain formation, and it's not easy.
The first circle of Stonehenge on Secrets of the Dead.
When we deployed to Afghanistan,
Iraq, Korea,
Vietnam,
we're at war.
Fear and anxiety becomes the new normal.
combat up close changes you. I was so badly injured, my crew thought I was dead. They pulled me out anyway because you never leave anyone behind.
On D-Day, at 4 o'clock in the morning, I was a boy. 10 o'clock at night, I was a man.
This month in Passport on the PBS Video app, your on-demand library for the best of PBS.
My interest in crime is purely academic. I do not like to get my hands dirty.
The idea of doing something where nobody's ever set foot before is utterly thrilling.
It is a once-in-a-lifetime thing.
These and other shows from your PBS station are available with Passport on the PBS Video app. Download it today.
In southern Kenya lies a remote desert kingdom, home to a caste of remarkable wild creatures. They owe their existence to the largest animal here, and also the smallest. Together, elephants and termites create waterholes, animal oases that are miracles of life. This is the waterhole story.
Progress continues on Capitol Hill. President Joe Biden unveils the new framework of his climate and economic package, which he hopes will strike the right balance to convince his party to vote to approve it. Isabel Rosales is in Washington with a breakdown of what stayed in and what got dropped from his Build Back Better plan that could change the lives of Americans if it passes.
President Joe Biden pitching a new and significantly scaled back version of his massive economic plan.
I know we have a historic economic framework.
The $1.75 trillion proposal focuses on child care, climate change, health care, and more.
It's a framework that will create millions of jobs, grow the economy, invest in our nation and our people.
Without any Republican support, the president hopes this version will get holdouts in his party on board to vote. On the moderate side, no clear deal. Senator Kyrsten Sinema said in a statement she looks forward to getting this done. At half the cost of Biden's original Build Back Better plan, it drops top priorities for progressives, including paid family and medical leave and free community college.
No one got everything they wanted, including me. But that's what compromise is.
Biden's entire legislative agenda is at an inflection point. Some progressives still frustrated with Senate moderates.
Our trust has to be in two senators that have not, in my opinion, been good faith actors up until this point.
But there is growing consensus over the new plan, along with support for the companion infrastructure bill.
Our members are enthusiastic about voting for both bills when that text is ready.
Despite the high-stakes gamble, there is confidence Biden's full agenda will ultimately pass both the House and the Senate.
We have the text out there. We're on a path to get this all done.
In Washington, Isabel Rosales.
A massive concern about the plans are how to pay for them. The outline promises it will be fully paid for, in part by imposing a 15% minimum tax on the companies with more than $1 billion in profits. Plus, there will be a surcharge on the corporate stock buybacks. For the first time, executives of major oil companies and industry groups are testifying in front of Congress about disinformation on the climate crisis. Today's hearing comes after reports the industry engaged in campaigns aimed at creating confusion about the cause of the crisis. Camilla Bernal has the closer look at the questioning from lawmakers and reaction from the giants in the oil industry.
Please raise your right hands.
The heads of 4 oil companies and 2 major lobbying groups sworn in for testimony in front of the House Oversight and Reform Committee. Democrats immediately grilling them about disinformation on the climate crisis.
Do you agree that it's an existential threat? Yes or no?
I agree.
The hearing comes after reports the industry has participated in campaigns aimed at creating confusion about the cause of the crisis.
There's nothing illegal about that.
And after an undercover video released this summer appeared to show an ExxonMobil lobbyist admitting the company fought climate policy and the science behind it.
The purpose of this hearing is clear: to deliver partisan theater for primetime news.
At the time, Exxon responded by saying the comments in no way represent the company's position on climate policy. But the chairwoman also pressing the CEO on inconsistencies between its own science and its public statements.
No, I do not agree that there was an inconsistency.
And the executives addressing the criticism.
Any suggestion that Chevron is engaged in an effort to spread disinformation and mislead the public on these complex issues is simply wrong.
While also promising change.
By 2030, we expect to reduce our global oil and gas production by 40%.
I'm Camila Bernal reporting.
Social media giant Facebook is changing its name. CEO Mark Zuckerberg announced today the company is changing its name to Meta. But many things about the social media giant will apparently stay the same. The name change announced came today at the Facebook Connected Augmented and Virtual Reality Conference.
It is time for us to adopt a new company brand to encompass everything that we do. To reflect who we are and what we hope to build, I am proud to announce that starting today, our company is now Meta. Our mission remains the same. It's still about bringing people together. Our apps and their brands, they're not changing either. And we are still the company that designs technology around people. But now we have a new North Star to help bring the metaverse to life. And we have a new name that reflects the full breadth of what we do.
Along with today's announcement, Facebook showed its vision today for a metaverse with a series of concept videos. They included sending a holographic image of yourself to a concert in person, sitting around virtual meeting tables with remote colleagues, or playing immersive games with friends. A look at how Athens businesses are adapting to an increase in remote work. That story's still ahead.
Hi everyone, I am forecaster Ashley Ziegler, and it has been a pretty fair week in Southeast Ohio. But what will the next few days look like leading up to Halloween? Find out more in my full forecast, but for now, let's take a look at stocks of local interest.
When we deployed to Afghanistan,
Iraq, Korea, Vietnam.
we're at war.
Fear and anxiety becomes the new normal.
Combat up close changes you. I was so badly injured, my crew thought I was dead. They pulled me out anyway because you never leave anyone behind.
On D-Day, at 4 o'clock in the morning, I was a boy. 10 o'clock at night, I was a man.
Art is important because it shows who we were, where we came from.
Through my art, I'm creating a more powerful woman within myself.
Inspiration is everywhere. It's important that we learn our culture, our practices. We are tied to the land. That's our blood. That's where we come from.
It's playoffs? Yeah, we're definitely talking playoffs. Get ready because we all have previews in Divisions 5, 6, and 7 and highlights from Division 3 and 4 on Friday. Get excited because the road from the 7-4-0 to Canton, Ohio starts on Friday, and you can find the best coverage right here on Gridiron Glory on WOUB on Friday nights at 11:30 p.m. and Saturday morning at 11:30 a.m. So get the popcorn ready.
On Secrets of the Dead, the true origins of Stonehenge have remained shrouded in mystery.
The secret is in the blue stones.
Now, a dedicated team of archaeologists and scientists have made an incredible discovery.
What we found here is something very exciting.
We're looking for pits of a certain size in a certain formation, and it's not easy.
The first circle of Stonehenge on Secrets of the Dead.
Welcome back, everybody. I am forecaster Ashley Ziegler, and right now you can see the surface features for today. And as you can see, our area is in a shaded green color, which means that we have a chance for rain showers. And this is due to the low pressure system that is sitting to our southwest. This system rotates in a counterclockwise direction and is bringing warm, moist air from the Gulf of Mexico up into our area, which is creating the conditions for the rain showers. In our surface satellite image, you can see all of this moisture that is indicated by the clouds. And actually right here in this patchy area is where the center of that low pressure system is sitting. As we move into our hour by hour for tonight, we'll start off at 8 p.m. with 58 degrees, and it'll only cool down 3 degrees to 55 by midnight. So not normally what we expect. We'll have an overcast, but it'll start raining around 10 p.m. and will rain all night. And we will also have steady winds at midnight with a 100% chance of rain. Tonight we will have a low of 53 degrees, winds from the east of 5 to 10 miles an hour, and we will accumulate between half to 3/4 of an inch of rain from the showers tonight. As we look at our regional lows, you can see most of the area is seeing temps in the mid-50s, 53 Newark, 53 in Athens, 54 in Ironton and Ripley. The whole area is seeing a chance for showers. As we move into our surface features for tomorrow, as you can see, nothing much has moved. The low pressure system has only moved a little bit northeast, but because it's still there, we will see showers again once tomorrow. As we move into our hour by hour for tomorrow, 53 at 8 a.m. and it'll warm up to 58 by noon. Overcast, high humidity will linger, and we will see rain all day. As we look at Athens tomorrow, we will have a high of 62 degrees. We will have another inch of rain accumulate on top of what we're already going to experience tonight. Humidity will be at near 100% due to all that moisture, and winds will be blowing from the east between 0 and 5 miles an hour. And most of the area will be seeing temps in the 60s as well, with warm spots in Ironton and Ripley in the upper mid-60s, and 59 as a high in Columbus. Pretty chilly up there. And as we move into our surface features for Saturday, we will also see rain as those low pressure systems are sitting to our south. Here is our 7-day forecast, and as you can see, we'll have a high of 62 on Friday and rain both Friday and Saturday, but we'll get a break on Halloween and as well on Monday. But the rain chances will start once again Tuesday as we drop into the low 50s and 49 on Wednesday. Throughout the rest of the week, we'll see lows in the 40s, and the lows will drop into the 30s starting Tuesday night. Now back to Madison with news.
Thanks, Ashley. There may seem to be new work opportunities out there created by the pandemic, but actually they've been there already. Nick Veland has more.
Working from someplace other than the office has been around a lot longer than when most of us were forced to do it last year. In Athens, it started in 2013 with Athens Works, created by local entrepreneur Ben Lockman and his partners. People using Athens Works range from remote workers to those working to grow their own business ventures.
Like, we've seen this over and over again where somebody takes a chunk of time, learns a new skill, starts a new business, and then kind of grows into their next thing. And I think having workspaces is really very key to that.
Along with the space, there are innovative aspects inside, with phone boxes and standing desks. Lockman said with the pandemic, the demand for these spaces are up.
Have continued to grow over, even just in the last few weeks, we've had several new members join, can only really support around between 20 and 25 people. And there's clearly more need than that.
And he thinks moving forward, Athens stands to benefit from this.
Remote work really allows people to make the choice for where they live. And I think a community like Athens really stands to benefit because of that.
For Newswatch in Athens, I'm Nick Veland.
Some initial works have started to create the armory into a workspace, and Athens Works could move there if given the opportunity. And Ohio Marines' remains that were missing for almost 78 years finally are buried in Arlington National Cemetery. Private First Class Harold W. Hayden of Norwood, Ohio, fought in World War II. The Defense Department says he died during the Battle of Tarawa in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. The military believed his remains were lost until a nonprofit called History Flight discovered them near where he died, and a lab verified the body was Hayden's. His brother says it's exhilarating to know Hayden's body is finally home in U.S. soil. Hayden was 19 years old when he died.
A rise in retail alcohol sales during the pandemic was linked to an increase in the number of people needing a liver transplant, according to a new study published in JAMA Network Open.
I think a lot of people just use alcohol to cope. They use it to feel better.
From March 2020 to January 2021, nearly 51,500 more people were put on a waiting list for a liver, researchers said, and more than 32,300 liver transplants were performed due to alcoholic hepatitis. That condition often develops after years of heavy drinking, but it can also happen after a short period of excess drinking.
We glamorize, we glorify alcohol use. A lot of our social events are associated with alcohol, and we even glorify getting drunk.
Brad Lander is a psychologist at Ohio State University Wexner Medical Center. He's worked with those struggling with addiction for nearly 35 years. To slow alcohol abuse, he says more people need to be educated about the dangers of excessive drinking, and there needs to be more social activities that don't involve alcohol. He also says the U.S. should make it less accessible.
The easier to get the alcohol, the more people tend to drink because you don't have to put any real effort into it.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
With alcoholic hepatitis, the liver stops processing alcohol and instead creates highly toxic chemicals that trigger inflammation. The inflammation can kill off healthy liver cells, creating irreversible damage to the liver that may force the patient to get a liver transplant to survive.
Coming up in sports, Ohio volleyball looks to rebound following a loss last Saturday. And soccer had a chance to lock up the MAC regular season title in the #1 seed in the playoffs. That and more coming up on Newswatch. And be sure to stay tuned to WOUB. Here's a look at what's coming up tonight on your public television station.
Hello, I'm Bob Ross.
We were sitting on an incredible story, and my first thought was, why are we not telling this?
It's just amazing. You get to see the studio and all the original artifacts.
It's like any other room until you know the story. Bob Ross painted here. Suddenly, this space becomes magical.
This is a great new destination for Bob Ross fans all over.
The Bob Ross experience is a home for Bob Ross.
Any Bob fan would love it.
When we deployed to Afghanistan,
Iraq, Korea, Vietnam,
we're at war.
Fear and anxiety becomes the new normal.
Combat up close changes you. I was so badly injured, my crew thought I was dead. They pulled me out anyway because you never leave anyone behind.
On D-Day, at 4 o'clock in the morning, I was a boy. 10 o'clock at night, I was a man.
It's playoffs? Yeah, we're definitely talking playoffs. Get ready because we all have previews in Divisions 5, 6, and 7 and highlights from Division 3 and 4 on Friday. Get excited because the road from the 7-4-0 to Canton, Ohio starts on Friday, and you can find the best coverage right here on Gridiron Glory on WOUB on Friday nights at 11:30 p.m. and Saturday morning at 11:30 a.m. So get the popcorn ready.
This show is a roller coaster. On Finding Your Roots, comedians Louis Black.
Any idea what happened to Grandma after that?
None. It was like a disappearance. And Roy Wood Jr.
Difficult truths generally don't go discussed.
Family history uncovers answers. I'm the only one left. And anger. Plus a DNA match. I'm never doing this show again. Finding Your Roots.
Hello everybody, I'm Aiden Crowley. Ohio soccer found themselves in a pivotal MAC matchup at Chesa. The Bobcats faced off against the Golden Flashes as the top 2 teams in the MAC. The winner of this one would take home the regular season title and home field advantage throughout the tournament. There was a playoff feel to this game as both teams played physical defense and had their looks to score. The Bobcats found themselves in the 3rd straight overtime matchup with a 0-0 tie at the end of regulation. That score held as the 2 teams played to a 0-0 draw. Despite not getting the results, Coach Aaron Rodgers was still pleased with the performance.
We outshot them. We had more shots on goal. I think
We created some really good chances, and Kent obviously is a really good team. And credit to them for the finish and that they had this season as well. Obviously, we tied for second place, and fortunately, we've defended so well this year that our goal difference was better, and we finished second on the tiebreakers.
As Coach Rocher mentioned, with the tie, the Bobcats dropped to the second overall seed in the tournament. Bowling Green jumped the Bobcats in the standings with a 1-0 overtime win against Toledo. The Falcons secured home field advantage throughout the postseason, taking on the winner of Buffalo and Central Michigan. We could see a rematch between the Bobcats and Golden Flashes as early as Sunday, as the Bobcats play host to the winner of Kent State and Toledo in the semifinal match. The MAC championship game is set to take place Sunday, November 7th. Ohio hockey is also in action tonight. The Bobcats travel to Adrian, Michigan to take on the Bruisers at 7:30. The defending ACHA Division I champions show no signs of slowing down this season. Adrian comes into this matchup as the #1 ranked team in the country. It's an early test for a Bobcat team that has dropped 3 of their last 4 games. Following this matchup, Ohio heads back to Athens to complete the 2-game set in Byrd Arena. Puck drops tonight at 7 p.m. Ohio volleyball wants to bounce back after their 5-game winning streak snapped last Saturday. The Bobcats kick off a 4-match road swing tomorrow in Kalamazoo. Ohio squares off against a tough Western Michigan team that has a 7-4 record in MAC play. Bobcat head coach Jeff Carlson says the team needs to improve on a few things before they hit the road.
We'll look at it. I think the things I mentioned with our left side block, that's a big deal. We've been working hard on it. And Western's good. They've had a pretty tough run at it. But yeah, we're on the road now against some really good teams next weekend. So we'll go back to the basics of serve and pass because I think we got beat there tonight.
Ohio field hockey has a critical test for their final game of the regular season. The Bobcats face off against Longwood Saturday at Pruitt Field. The team sits at a 3-3 record in MAC play, good for 4th in the standings. Only the top 4 teams advance to the MAC tournament next weekend in Oxford. A win puts the Bobcats in a strong position to secure their spot. A loss means Ohio more than likely misses the tournament for the first time since 2017. Game time is set for 1 p.m. The Houston Astros tied the World Series up at a game apiece last night against the Atlanta Braves. An offensive explosion in the second inning carried the Astros to a 7-2 victory. Houston tallied 4 runs in the inning, spearheaded by Martin Maldonado's single that scored 2. Jose Altuve shined for the Stros, going 2 for 5 with a home run and a run batted in. Game 3 will take place Friday in Atlanta. I'm Aiden Crowley, and that's it for sports. Back to you, Madison.
Thanks, Aiden. A traditional Halloween costume looks to be this year's most popular outfit for the holiday. That's according to Google Trends, which compiles Google's searches made in the United States. This year's list included hundreds of costumes, with the classic witch costume sitting at the top. Others include Cruella de Vil of 101 Dalmatians at number 5. Characters from the hit show Squid Game at number 23, and Baby Yoda at 82. Now let's head back over to Ashley for a final look at the weather.
Thank you, Madison. As of right now, sorry everybody, we'll expect a temperature of 72 degrees or 62 degrees tomorrow, with a half of inch of rain expected from the rain that we will see tomorrow all day. And winds from the east between 0 and 5 miles an hour. And I just want to remind you guys that we are technically on November 7th. We will fall back an hour as we move back to Eastern Standard Time. As we take a look at the regional highs, everybody will be seeing temps in the mid to upper 60s, except Columbus at 59. And here is our 7-day forecast. As you can see, we'll have a high of 62 tomorrow with a 100% chance of rain, as well as a 60% chance on Saturday, with a break Sunday, Monday, and chances coming back Tuesday, with lows in the 40s and 30s starting Tuesday night. Back to Madison.
And that does it for our broadcast this evening. Thanks for watching. I'm Madison Moore. And stay tuned for the PBS NewsHour coming up next. And remember, you can find the latest news anytime at woub.org. Have a great night.